All right, let's dive into a real powerhouse in the medical world, Allama Iqbal Medical College. You've probably heard the name, right? It's one of the most respected medical schools in Pakistan. But what really makes it so special? What's the story behind that incredible reputation? Well, we're about to find out. And it's not just talk. Right off the bat, you'll see it described as one of the most prestigious medical institutions in the country. That's a pretty big deal. So let's spend a few minutes really digging into that claim. What does it take to earn that kind of title? Okay, so let's break it down. What is the secret sauce behind this reputation? We're going to look at where it came from, what it's like today, and what really drives this place to be one of the best.
So, first things first, what are we talking about here? Allama Iqbal Medical College, most people just call it AMIC, is a public medical school. It's located in Lahore, Pakistan, and it's been around since 1975. And it's not just for doctors. They also train nurses and other health professionals, the whole shebang.
Every great institution has a guiding star, and for AIMC, it's this: dignity in service. It sounds simple, right? But this isn't just a catchy phrase on a website. It's the DNA of the college. It shapes everything they do, from the classroom to the clinic. All right, let's rewind the clock a bit, because like any legendary place, AIMC has a pretty incredible origin story. It's a story of some really humble beginnings and some seriously remarkable growth. Let's jump back to the start. So check this out. It all started in 1975. And back then, it was actually called Lahore Medical College. Just 2 years later, it gets renamed to honor the great poet Allama Iqbal. Then, boom, 1989, they get a brand new, huge 100-acre campus. And by 1994, they've got their own teaching hospital, Jinnah Hospital. I mean, think about that. In less than 20 years, they went from an idea to a full-blown medical powerhouse. That's just wild. And to really get a sense of that journey, you have to see this. Back then, they started in a borrowed building. Facilities were, let's just say, not great. They had so little space, they literally had to teach in shifts. Now, fast forward to today, we're talking a massive 100-acre campus, all the modern bells and whistles, and a teaching hospital with over 1,000 beds. The glow-up is absolutely real. It's just an incredible transformation. So what's it actually like on this massive campus? Let's take a little virtual tour, shall we? This is where future doctors live, learn, and grow. First, let's just let that number sink in for a second. 100 acres. That's huge. We're not talking about just a building or two. This is basically a small city, a self-contained world completely dedicated to creating the next generation of medical professionals. And they make great use of all that space. You've got a massive library with like 28,000 books, a huge auditorium that can seat 1,500 people, a full-on sports complex. They've even got dorms for more than 1,000 students right there on campus. But the real game changer, the crown jewel, is Jinnah Hospital. It's right there, attached to the campus, so students get that crucial real-world experience from day one. And here's a really cool little detail. I love this. The student dorms, they aren't just your typical boring buildings. The architect actually designed them to look like a red rose with 4 petals from above. How neat is that? It's one of those small touches that just shows you how much thought and care went into creating this place. Okay, a beautiful campus is great, but what really matters is what happens inside, right? The real heart of the college is its mission. And for AMC, it all comes down to 3 things: education, research, and care. So let's see how they put that into practice. First up, education. And let's talk numbers for a second. We're looking at over 10,000 students enrolled here. Just think about that. That's an enormous number of future doctors, nurses, and specialists all being trained in one place. It's a massive pipeline of talent that is literally shaping the future of healthcare for the entire region. And it takes a village, right? You've got a faculty of more than 144 experts guiding all those students. But it's not all about hitting the books. The student life there is incredibly vibrant. We're talking more than 28 different student clubs and societies. So you're not just learning, you're building a real community. And then there's the research. This is huge. AMIC isn't just a place that teaches what's already known. They're actively pushing the boundaries of medicine. They've put out over 3,600 research publications. So they're not just consumers of knowledge, they are creators of knowledge. They're finding the cures and treatments of tomorrow. And all of this, the teaching, the research, it all comes back to their core mission. And what is that? To reduce human suffering. It's that simple and that profound. And notice how they do it. By creating leaders,
Not just good doctors, but leaders in patient care and in biomedical discovery. That's a seriously ambitious goal, and it's what sets them apart.
So we've got the campus, we've got the mission, but what's it actually feel like to be a student there? What's the vibe? Let's talk about the culture and what it means to be an Iqbalian.
And yeah, that's the word they use. If you're a student or a grad from Allama Iqbal Medical College, you're an Iqbalian. It's more than just a label, it's a shared identity, and it really creates this powerful sense of belonging and community.
And being an Iqbalalian seems like a lot of fun, honestly. It's way more than just lectures and labs. You've got those 28-plus student societies I mentioned, there's a student-run magazine called Shaheen, and the alumni network is super strong, especially in North America. Plus, they have these awesome traditions, like the annual interclass skit competitions. It's a whole ecosystem.
So when you put it all together, what's the big picture here? The story of Allama Iqbal Medical College, from that tiny, borrowed building to this world-class institution, it's about more than just getting bigger. It's about finding that perfect balance, right? Which really makes you think, how does any great institution manage to build a legacy that's both academically top tier and deeply committed to service and community? It's a tough balancing act, but it really seems like AIMC has figured it out. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.